can see in the title, I'm going to lose some subscribers today. Yay! Time to get serious. So, recently a couple of well-known skeptic YouTubers got paid to promote an app called Candid. Candid basically is a platform that lets you talk about topics without anyone but the app knowing who you are. Every time you post something, your post appears with another avatar, which is why I'm pretty sure that half of these were made by Skeptic himself instead of his fans.
I have had fantasies of tying Skeptic up and stepping on him with high heels. I bet he's huge. Skeptic is daddy as fuck. Reminder, these two are into BDSM and Shu's the sub when Shu puts it in Skeptic.
Maybe not. The people who made advertisement for Candid probably got a decent amount of money, since YouTubers like The Amazing Atheist or Armod Skeptic are not really what one would consider poor, and therefore would probably not bother to make an advertisement for just a couple of $100. Wanting to advertise for a company in and of itself is not a big issue. However, in this particular case, things got a bit inconvenient when another YouTuber, infamous for his harmful opinions, had a deeper look into the application and realized that there was a bit of false advertisement going on there. Many YouTubers promoted the app as a place where you can speak your mind freely.
I can post that unpopular opinion that maybe people on Facebook or Twitter don't want to hear.
We've made an app that lets you say whatever the fuck you want about anything, and you can do it all anonymously and without any backlash and shit.
Which is simply not the case. Now, in order to completely understand why harmful opinion is so upset, we have to understand what this so-called AI is.
All of our posts and comments on Candid go through an NLP algorithm which analyzes and detects sentiment, detects things like slander and hate speech.
And to be fair, I have an issue with calling it an AI because it is nothing but a glorified ranking program.
We have two or three things in place. One, we have the AI system. Second, we have a reporting system where people can actually report really offensive, report posts and comments. And then we will look at it. There is human moderation, and as long as it is against our community guidelines, it is it's actually brought down.
And there are several problems with this. First, the AI's developers. The people behind Candid have repeatedly pointed out that their AI is not meant for spam and pornographic images alone, but also for posts they don't deem meaningful.
A machine is going to detect if you're being hateful or spiteful or annoying, and it's going to decide whether your comment or your post should stay on or this is something which should be taken out.
On top of that, they promote the application for uncensored and candid speech and anonymity, while at the same time not having a grasp on what censorship is.
You cannot have a discussion without any moderation. To say no censorship is completely meaningless in a world where you have to actually talk to each other in a sensible way.
Semi-doxing Bering on his own channel within the first 50 seconds in a hangout.
Yeah, hey, thanks, Bering or Patrick, if you like to call me that. If you'd like me to call you that. I think Bering and Patrick himself has done one. We do have a document which gives you some high-level guidelines about,
Bindu, I think you mentioned that before, but you just partially doxed me. Thanks for that.
I doxed you?
And considering potentially meaningful comments worth to be removed.
Without moderation, there is no community. Without a moderation, there is no discourse. Without moderation, there is no discussion.
So if I, as a foreigner, post something like, "Hey, can someone tell me the most common insult to avoid in the US? Because today I upset woman for mispronouncing cunt and she totally freaked out." Most of the answers I would get would very likely be removed. And then I would be all sad and upset that Candid users hate foreigners that much, and the people who would have answered would have no idea about the post getting removed in the first place.
When I log in on one computer and type "black people kill themselves" after seeing someone else has posted "white people kill themselves," it's really fun. And do you know why it's fun? Because if anyone else looks at that post, it's gone. It's like magic. Wow!
The second problem is that text cannot transmit emotions. If I write "kill me" after a presidential debate, I could just be joking about the madness, or I could genuinely be upset about the state of the elections. And the Candid team has suffered under this problem itself. When Bering asked about a comment one of the Candid co-workers made, the CEO replied that it was tongue-in-cheek.
Yeah, he was being tongue-in-cheek, he was joking.
A tweet that he sent out that says, if you're tired of being called racist and misogynistic, just be glad the revolution hasn't started yet. The revolution hasn't started yet. Now, I noticed there's no smiley on that one.
Right, and this is on his Twitter, right?
Yeah, but I think the concern was that, well, you know, if he's, you know, he appears to be saying it seriously here. So I think the concern is if he's saying it seriously here, well then, you know, why wouldn't you think he was serious on the last one? And what's the revolution?
Maybe he knows about a very damaging feature imposed on the users in the future. Maybe he's just a joking dumbass who likes to ruin his company's reputation. But either way, the text itself doesn't reveal it. And yet, in spite of suffering under this problem themselves, the Candid team still believes their AI will absolutely properly be able to determine what people think while they type. The third problem is the AI itself. If I consider a post harmful, the AI will learn that the post's content is harmful. It sounds nice in theory, but as soon as you have too many people of one particular group inside of this social media network, the AI will be skewed more and more towards one direction. Over time, you will get an echo chamber because dissenting statements will always be considered harmful more often than agreeing statements. Harmful opinions notice that very, very quickly.
Yes, that's I guess harmful opinions and basically highlighted that in his video. And really what happened there was our AI had, kind of learned for sure that something, because that something against Black people was bad. And it also got, the trigger word there to some extent was kill. And so it did learn that that for sure was bad. Now, what our AI does is it doesn't necessarily think, the one which wasn't removed, it's not because it was, it was okay that it wasn't removed. It was because it didn't catch it, right? Because there just wasn't, and so far in the history of our, of our app, we hadn't seen that many anti-white things, and which is why the white thing stayed up. And this doesn't mean that over time that it'll get better. So we try, I think after he pointed it out, we have fixed it and it will get better. And that's why it happened. It's just that it had gotten that much more kind of, Black people type of posts, which is why it learned that.
And even though the CEO said that the AI will get better and that this is an AI newbie mistake, I absolutely disagree. And here is why. The AI does not start off with bias. The users give the AI bias, which means that the AI is not showing beginner's mistake that will balance themselves out. What it is showing actually is the first signs of discrimination towards a particular opinion. The CEO also said that they will check the AI to fix misconduct.
So what we do is periodically in a week or so, we'll go back and do an evaluation and look at all the things that look at all the false positives as well as all the false negatives and try to classify it correctly.
However, I will call this out as nonsense right away as well, because they built this AI because they have too few people to police their platform. That means that they have also too few people to police the masses of data produced by the AI. So now that I have pointed out the problem with the application, let me finally move to our beloved sellouts. Now, first of all, I am not upset with every YouTuber. Some YouTubers made nice little advertisements saying they checked the app, they found it nice, they like the fact that you're anonymous on the platform, end of story. And that is a perfectly sound advertisement. And I absolutely have no problem with those people.
But I actually liked this and used this, and I was like, you know what? It would be awesome if we got more people. The thing that drove me to it when I was using it was how everybody's anonymous. Sometimes I just want to talk to people about subjects without being shoe on head.
The people I have a problem with are the ones who made false advertisement. I'm pretty sure that many of those YouTubers making these advertisements were not aware of the false advertisement of the company or the company's ways of handling free speech. However, they were advertising it with free speech. So they didn't make any research but decided to sign a document that doesn't allow them to speak ill about the product for 2 years. And then, with their super skeptic, non-researched idea of that product, they promoted untrue facts about it. And I am very upset with them, because they either were too lazy to fact check, too stupid to understand what they are dealing with, or too greedy to give a fuck about it. But there is one person, or rather one comment of that person, that got my blood boiling.
The Candid staff is teaching the bot how to tell the difference between something that has been proven to be true and something that has not necessarily been determined as completely factual. As a skeptic, I can only endorse this feature.
Seriously? You endorse entrusting someone, or even worse, something, to tell you what is true or not? Do you endorse that super smart AI that blocks the people on Twitter for shites too, Skepti?
As a skeptic, I can only endorse this feature.
Or how about that fancy book that is like so super that it tells us that we came from dirt?
I can only endorse this feature.
Since when are skeptics so lazy that they don't bother fact-checking themselves? What makes you a skeptic if not that? No, you deserve all the flack you get. And please get your skeptic radar fixed, because right now it is malfunctioning. But don't worry, dear. If you stay nicely put on Candid, nobody will be able to tell you how much of an idiot you are. No one will be able to be mean. And you will never, ever have to hear that horrible, horrible group of actual skeptics that will tell you how wrong you are. Skeptics with a C. Okay guys, tell me in the comment below what you think about it. Subscribe if you haven't yet, and if you have subscribed and think you are subscribed, have a check if that is still active. YouTube turns to unsubscribe people recently, and have a great evening. How? Hey. Hi. 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 Yeah. Hi there. Don't eat my mic. Don't eat the mic. Mwah.